Kia ora tātou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora, and greetings from the filmmakers and cinematographers of Aotearoa, New Zealand, the land of the long white cloud, and yes, the Hobbit. I'm here to say a few words of tribute, to one of my oldest and dearest friends, Rodney Charters, and to acknowledge the journey that this guy has made from the shores of New Zealand to this place tonight. Kei te pai, Rodney, kei te pai. In the 1960s, I had a small advertising agency. In those days, it was known as a hot shop, and we had a lot of very interesting accounts. But in 1964, a young guy turned up in my office called Rodney Charters, and it was with an absolute stunning portfolio of work. His father had been one of the most famous portrait photographers, so the kid had a good pedigree, but his work was simply a knockout. He had photographed one of his girlfriends on a windswept hillside, naked on the back of a massive stallion in a wet, windy day, with mist drifting all around her. Apart from the dame on the horse, and I always wanted to know what happened to her, I was riveted by the images and his creative boldness. In 1965, Rodney and I embarked on his first movie adventure, a short film shot on 16mm black and white. It was shot out of the back of the roof of my Fiat Bambina, racing along a wild West Coast beach, where the piano was later shot, I might say, in a howling westerly gale. He created a classic of wild and reckless Kiwis on the bloody loose, I suppose. It was astonishing. This was enough to get him into the Sydney Film Festival and then on to the Royal College of Art in London in 1968. Rodney would later seek the wider success that Canada and the US offered him, and we cheered him on. His name on the credits meant a lot to young New Zealand filmmakers. He became a local hero. Rodney's success in the US is somewhat legendary, and we have stayed the closest of buddies with our deep love of the wild west coast of New Zealand. It's wild landscape that binds us together, our love of surf, big surf, and the spirit of the outdoors. So this is a true prodigal son, a great ambassador of New Zealand, still burning with energy and brilliance. Wow. New Zealand would like to borrow Rodney back sometime, but tonight is his night, and I can only thank you sincerely for recognising him and his worth. It is my great pleasure to welcome my friend Rodney Charters to the stage to accept this reward. Kei te pai, pai Māori.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob, for returning me to my roots. A Maori greeting we just did. Thank you, the ASC, for this extraordinary honor. Photography has always been a family passion, but recently I was catching up on Twitter and found an Instagram posted by my daughter, May. It was an image of her 5-year-old self in pajamas in her bedroom, which I had taken over and turned into a cutting room. In her post, she spoke of being woken by the sound of a documentary being rewound while I was editing. We all know that sound. She had tweeted the image, and I was touched at how much she treasured this Kodak moment. Sadly, her children will no longer experience the magic of silver halide. My daughter actually shot her first movie on tape, and you can watch it on Netflix, Lovers in a Dangerous Time. No matter how exciting and world-embracing my journey has been, it's always been about family first. I must thank my mom, Shirley, my dad, Roy, my wife, Gillian, my children, May, Robin, and Jasmine, and my brother, Nigel. It's a treasure to have them here with me tonight. My mum, Shirley, ran our family studio during the war, and my dad, along with his partner, Rowan Guthrie, made movies with me and my brother after they returned. By the time I was 8, the die was cast. My dad's war buddies got free wilderness land if they could get to it. And so that summer spent with him bulldozing, clearing bush, and blasting roads was the perfect subject for his new 8mm Bolex. I was responsible for the detonators, loving the moment after the slow-blow fuse was lit, when we ran for cover behind the nearest rock to wait until the cliff beside us erupted in a giant blowout of mud and rock. Cut to 40 years later, I'm lying on my stomach watching Kiefer Sutherland yell into his comm, "Take it out!" as some F-16 strafed the LA riverbed. My operator guy whip panned to the riverbed as Stan Blackwell FX blew up the helicopter with 100 feet of primer cord. Thanks to Kiefer and Stephen Hopkins and the entire 24 family, including my amazing crew. I feel obliged to single out Guy Skinner, who was handheld the whole time on A, and my B camera operator, J.R. Heron, as well as my colorist, Larry Field, longtime gaffer, David St. Onge, and key grip, Anthony Vietro. We treated 24 like a movie, and we invented things too. The butt dolly, the Kineflow bat wings, and the grip cloud. We shot 24 on film despite the pressure to go digital until Canon's Tim Smith showed up with the 5D Mark II, followed by Jim Gennard with the Red 1, and it's been a long time since I opened a door on an XL to marvel at the engineering and listen to the film chatter through the gate. I love actors, and I thank all of them for hitting their marks and finding their light. I want to thank my mentors in New Zealand, Professor Arthur Lawrence, Michael McClear, Phil Pendry, who's still shooting at age 86 over here. He lies about his age. Thank you to Ron Stannett, Mark Irwin, Biggles, and to all my dear producer and director friends with whom I have shared this journey. Thanks to my team on Dallas, my gaffer, Danny Eccleston, my honey badgers on the camera crew, and all the production designers I've ever worked with, especially Nina Ruscio. We did Shameless together. A critical change has occurred in our industry since the days when Kodak was the name on everything at my father's studio. 8mm rolls, 16mm rolls, sheet film, paper, even my grandfather's delicate glass plates. But I've embraced the change earnestly, and I want to thank all the engineers and visionaries who have given us the new technologies. I was dazzled by the life of Pi in 3D, and proud of the fact that several of the shots were assisted by my son Robin, who did the underwater 3D tech job for several months in Taiwan. I marveled at the seamless digital integration, but was acutely aware that the movie could not have been made on film. And yet 3 period features shot on film are nominated tonight, and we must salute everything that Kodak and Fuji have done for us over the past century. On set, we've begun to refer to our Alexa as the Kodak. I hope it sticks. I miss those boxes and cans. They were so useful. With time, we may find them returning as little tanks of DNA as Kodak reinvents storage. Thank you, the ASC, for reminding me of how lucky I was to be born into a family of photographers. Thank you. Yeah?
Yeah, do you need us to? Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it kind of keeps getting better over there.
Yeah.
A lot of people drift away and there's just the core. I can't say that you won't be there. But,
what's your reaction to getting this? Honestly.
Pretty amazing. I mean, overwhelmed when I first heard about it. So,
yes.
It was just pretty cool to be appreciated by your peers and to be able to stand up there and say nice things about the state of our industry. We're in a sort of critical flux period right now, with Kodak struggling to stay alive and people wanting to use their film but not being able to because it's too expensive now, certainly at the television level, and the digital cameras are getting better and better. And then there's films like Life of Pi that couldn't really have been made on film. So that was my tie, sorry. I whacked you with the tie, I can tell. No, it's just a very exciting time to be a cinematographer and so to be recognized at this period as someone who is carrying the torch forward but also revered about the past. It's pretty special.
Thank you.
Here, stand that way.
What's your reaction to your dad winning?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes?
Yeah. I think it's a long time coming. I think this is a better award to get than any other, so I think it's been good. Very good.
That's a better shot. Thank you.
DDP Studios Incorporated. We make thinking fun.